Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us on this MBM breakaway session. My name is Mylaya here at IT Supplies, and I am a textile print specialist here, but I'm really excited that you guys have decided to join us to just discuss some things to know when researching a DTG printer. My team and I have come together and just written down all the different things that customers typically don't think to ask or look for when they're looking for a direct-to-garment printer. So in this session, we're going to cover a lot of those things, talk about some of the major details in a direct-to-garment printer, and even touch base on the EPSON F2100 as our guideline ruler to measure up other printers. So let's take this away. Just to give you a little idea about who IT Supplies is, I just want to let you know that we've been here since 1998. We have a proven history in the digital imaging industry. So we started off in the fine arts, and we have gravitated ourselves over into the textiles, large format printers. And so we have dedicated textile team that I'm a part of that's able to assist customers like yourself that are looking for direct-to-garment printers, dye sublimation printers, anything that has to do with textiles. We have a dedicated team for. One of the things that's really important to us, which you can tell by the screen that I have up, is that people are really important to us. Not just our customer base, but even the employees here at IT Supplies are a really big part of what we do, which is why we have such a strong customer purpose and a strong customer base that we reach out to, because we have relationships with those people, and we think that relationships are really important. Just so you know, we do have over 500 direct-to-garment units installed in the field, and customers are running, and we're communicating with them always. So I just wanted to give you a little background history so you know more about who we are, and there's some transparency there so that you're able to make the best decisions as well. Moving on. So the things that are really important to know that we're going to cover is doing your research on the EPSON F2100 and any direct-to-garment printer that you're looking into. We're going to talk about the ink safety, the warranty, printing your own designs, training, and maintenance as well. So it's going to come full circle for us. So one of the things that's really important is you should know who you're buying from. I just gave you a background history on IT Supplies and who we are. Now that's great, but also, who's Mylaya? You don't know anything about me, right? So just to kind of give you an idea, I didn't just start selling DTG printers out the back of my car or anything like that. I actually grew up in this industry. I didn't fall into it. My parents have been basically a print shop for 20 years now. On the west side of Chicago, my dad has his own business where he offers pretty much every printer we offer here at IT Supplies. So anything from the roll-to-roll large format printers, which would be latex solvent units. We don't have an R series just yet, just to do some of those fun big things. But we also have a couple of DTG printers as well as some dye sublimation printers. So I've always worked for my dad my entire life. I went to school, decided I wanted to work business to business, just to be able to help startups, larger businesses, no matter where you're starting from. I want to be able to assist you because I've been on your side of the fence already. So I know what it feels like to go to a trade show and either someone doesn't acknowledge that you're actually at their booth, or they're not actually listening to what you're trying to do, and so they're talking at you and not with you, or someone's just trying to sell you. So what's really important to me, and the reason why I love IT Supply so much, is that the relationship portion is what's important to me. I want to know, why are you getting into this business, or while you're in this business, what are you making? Who is your customer base? What is your niche product? I want to work with you on those things. So it's really important to know who you are buying from. And now you know who I am. Another thing that's really, really important is ask for references. If you want to know, like, if this person just was selling pizza or furniture 2 weeks ago, or whatever the case may be, ask them for some references of, like, people that they have talked to, who are their customers, different things like that. That way you have a peace of mind of who you're actually buying from. Because buying local is not always, going to be the best option for you. I've given you my background in the industry, so that's really important, which is the reason why I kind of introduced you to who I am, what I do, what I've been doing. I've been here at IT Supplies. I want to say, man, I'll be at IT Supplies 4 years in August. So just helping customers like yourselves get through this process. So now you know a little bit about who I am, what the background in the industry is, and now just to kind of touch a little base on, not all dealers are the same. It's great, people love to buy local, and that's fine. But because of who EPSON is and the fact that they have authorized dealers across the U.S., IT Supplies is actually able to sell to you across the U.S. and still service, do some troubleshooting services with you, as well as installing and training you and all those different types of things. Because the knowledge base is really what you want. What you're paying for, it's great to pay for a printer. But what you really, really want is expert advice. You want someone who's going to be there to help you through this process, as well as not just sell you a printer, but sell you their knowledge, sell you their help. All of those things are really, really important when you're jumping into a project like this. So moving on, who made the printer? That's a really huge question to ask when you're looking at direct-to-garment printers. When it comes to EPSON actually makes all their own equipment. Their print heads, their parts, their ink are all made side by side, and they're genuinely made by EPSON. So knowing who makes the equipment and if they sell the equipment that they're making is really, really important. You don't really want to purchase what we would call here at IT, we joke around and we call it what's called a hack unit. So when DTG became really, really popular, what happened was people have been, and still are, buying machines from either China or Korea, or they're using old EPSON desktop printers. And what they're doing is they're smacking their name on it and saying that it is whatever the name of the DTG printer could be. And so they're using third-party inks, and they're using a print head from somewhere else, and all these different things have not been made together. And so they're not covered under a warranty. And a lot of people, I've had customers where they purchased something that, the printer was a branded printer of some sort, and it had an EPSON print head in it. And so they were so upset about the fact that EPSON would not cover their warranty and all this other stuff on their print heads. But what they didn't understand was that EPSON didn't build that printer. Yes, it's their print head, but it's not their genuine EPSON short color TFP print head that goes inside of their F2100 printer. So it wasn't a DTG printer, it was a paper printer print head. So thinking about those things, because if that print head is no longer sold, now you don't have a print head to put in there, and now they're going to switch you over into a different print head that you're going to have to install inside of your unit. So those are things to kind of keep in mind when you're looking at those printers. Find out who made it. Find out if they make the equipment themselves. Find out what print head is in there, what inks they're using, all of the components. Where are you going to buy your, if the printer was not made by them, like where are you going to get extra parts from if something goes down? Ask all those questions because they're super, super important and crucial, just so that you're not out of so much money. So make sure you're looking into those things. Moving forward, we're going to talk about the warranty. Sometimes I get a little ahead of myself because I get so excited about the EPSON warranties and just all the different components. So if I'm going too fast or you guys have more questions about something, make sure you do fill out those chats so that way I can answer all those questions for you as we roll through this. Now, warranty. One, reading the warranty is the most important thing that you can do. When someone asks me about the EPSON F2100, I email them the warranty with it. It's great that I told them what the warranty is, but it's a whole different animal when you read it. So, yes, I am an honest person. I'm going to tell you the truth, but I also want you to read it. Everyone's not going to send you their warranty. Ask for the warranty. It's important. The other question you should be asking them is, which should be inside of their warranty as well, do you offer on-site repair? I can tell you right now, EPSON offers on-site repair. It's very important. Something goes down, that local dealer is not allowed to go inside of your printer. You have to call EPSON's support line, and they're going to send out a tech. And to even tie in the next question of, does it state a time frame for repair? Yes, EPSON does. It's a 48-hour turnaround time. They overnight you your parts in 24 hours. The following 24 hours, they have a technician at your door. So, the way that works is, as long as you call by 1 p.m. Pacific, that time frame will play the role in which it's supposed to. Or you just roll over into the next day. Everything has to have a cutoff time, but it's stated inside of their warranty. So make sure you keep that in mind. The third thing is, does it cover print heads and electronics? Yes. EPSON will cover your print heads and your electronics inside of it. Anything that is inside of that unit that goes bad, it is a bumper-to-bumper warranty. No asterisks. No tiny, tiny little print that this cancels out that if something happens like you see on the infomercials. No. So make sure when you're reading that warranty, it's telling you that your print heads and electronics are actually covered inside that warranty. Now, another thing. It's great. You get a warranty. Well, it's great. My car gets a warranty too. How much of a warranty do I get, and am I able to extend it? How long am I able to extend it for? This is important because I want to make sure that I'm covered if anything ever goes wrong. My print head is just like and just as important as the engine in my car. So, inside of EPSON's warranty, they actually give you 1 year bumper to bumper when you purchase your unit. They then allow you to extend out to 2 additional years. So, you do have to extend that warranty while you're in warranty. Otherwise, we have other things we got to do. Not difficult, but it's going to cost you some money. So, make sure that you extend your warranty during your warranty period and put it in your calendar so that way you don't have any problems. But make sure that they actually have the warranty inside of the extended warranty inside of the warranty for you. Now, they won't send you a warranty after you've asked for a warranty. All right, get it in writing. You want everything in writing. You don't want someone who's just telling you all these great things that you want to hear, whispering you sweet nothings. You want a warranty, and if they don't provide you with a warranty, I say walk past them. But if you're really keen on that unit, I say go ahead and get everything in writing. That's my spiel on warranties. It's probably the most important thing out there, if you ask me. But that's my favorite part. Now, getting to the fun part. My favorite thing is printing stuff. I want to see if I can break a printer. Don't tell my job that, but that's just the honest truth. I want to see how far and what limits I can push a printer to. So some people come to me with some things, and I'm like, I'm not sure. But because I've never tried it, let's try it so we can see and I can help other customers in the future and learn from this project. So we're going to print some of your print samples. It's really, really important to get some print samples printed. And why is it important? It's important because you want to know what your images look like on that printer. When you go to the trade shows, now virtual trade shows, when you typically go to a trade show, what happens is they have images that they're printing that they have worked on for 6+ months to make perfect. So they got you. They've drawn you in with the perfect image. Now you get it home and it doesn't print like that. Why? Because you didn't take 6 months to a year to perfect one image. You don't even have time to take 6 months to a year to perfect an image. Let's be real. So, what I say always is, get your image printed, use your own file. This is going to let you know what you need to fix either when you're designing or what your image is going to look like just as it is without you doing anything. And that's good to know because you know up front before you get it home. You know what you're test driving. You're test driving this printer. That's essentially what it is. And so I love that feature because you should be able to do that and be able to know, okay, I can do a wash sample. I can see how it holds up. I can feel it, see how it feels, all of those different types of things. So this is really important. Get you a printed sample so that you know. Now, the other thing that I say is try different print mode settings. On the F2100, you have 6 different print mode settings and options of how you can do things. When I send someone a sample, it typically is like a level 3 and a level 5, just to kind of give them the inside scoop on 1 is the lowest quality, 6 is the highest quality possible. Number 1 setting, people are typically doing numbers and letters only. No graphic arts or anything of that nature. Usually if they're doing gradients with facial tones and some just really complex images, they'll go and linger between 3 and 6. So that's just kind of give you an idea. And then also when you do this, EPSON has a software called Garment Creator. And it does have print costs for the various settings that you're going to use. So another thing that I do is I say, hey, I printed this image. I printed at the standard size of the industry, which is a 7x8. 7x8 is the industry standard for what size images go on garments. You can always do bigger, you can always do smaller. It just depends on your customer base, but this is industry standard. I'm going to tell you that I put your print settings on 3 and 5, and this is how much it costs you in order to print this particular image. Now, remember that it's going to cost you more to print on a dark color garment than it is on a white garment or a light garment. Whatever garment you don't pre-treat and you use it as a light garment, that's going to cost less because you're going to use your white ink 4 times as much as you're going to use your colors. So remember when you're doing this, when you're asking for print samples, you're asking them to use your file, you want to see some different print mode settings, and you want to know how much it costs you to do that. I also can tell you that you can go on EPSON's website and just download Garment Creator for free, and you can start inputting all those things as well. But you would want to know what the experts actually know if they're an expert or a specialist. I like to say specialist because I don't know everything. But I'm growing and learning. So, moving forward, which ties into my trying the software, I always recommend trying the software because now you know what you're working with, you're familiar with it. Even though IT Supplies, when we get you started, we train you on the software, it's still nice for you to be able to play around in it. It's like, how can I say this? When I get my new iPhone, I am giddy to just explore. I go inside the Apple Store, I flip through the different settings, the different modes, the new features, I test drive it. That's basically what it is. So trying out the software is an awesome start to doing that. It gets you comfortable with it, and it allows you the opportunity to see it beforehand so that you can make an educated decision on if this is the perfect printer for you, if this setup works for you. Now, moving forward, PC or Mac compatible. Not every DTG printer is PC and Mac compatible, especially because it has to do with your software that you're using. EPSON's Garment Creator is PC and Mac compatible, which is a really awesome thing because not a lot of printers out there are. So just make sure you ask those 4 questions of you. Well, not 4 questions, but make sure you are asking them to use your own file, try some different print mode settings, print the cost, like letting you know what the cost estimates are and being able to play with the software and if it is PC or Mac compatible. So we are going to keep going. Training. This is, I think, is equally as important as warranty, if I'm going to be super honest about it, because I want to know how to use what I just paid for, especially technology and equipment like this. So one of the things that's really important is who and how. Who's going to do your training, how they're going to do your training. Those are the things that are really, really important to know. So with IT supplies, just so you kind of have an idea, all of our technicians on staff are EPSON trained and IT supplies employed, and we typically actually do on-site trainings. During COVID-19, we were doing some virtual ones, which meant that we were actually spending more time with the customer so that they're able to get even more hands-on experience with the unit. So we have videos that are helping train customers, as well as our actual technicians jumping on virtually with the customer and doing it. Now that things have lightened up a bit, we've been doing on-site as well. So it's really just your preference on where you are, and once you've answered the questionnaire of, you know, making sure that you didn't have COVID or someone you were around had it or anything like that, just making sure you wear a mask while they're there. It's completely up to you, but in my opinion, on-site has always been the best. So there's that. Knowing what their training experience is, just to backtrack a little bit, I want to say our longest employee has been here for 7 years, who has been doing on-site installation and training for these units, and he actually does it for all the units across the EPSON platform. So their portfolio, he installs and trains all of them just about. So all of our technicians have had tons of experience doing over 100 trainings yearly in order to install and train customers to make sure they understand it. And then on the back end, once they're gone, they give you their card, you call them, email email me if there's an issue, and they also help you troubleshoot that as well. The other thing, like I was saying before, local dealers are not always better because, one, they can't go inside your unit, and two, if they don't know enough about the printer, then how can they help you troubleshoot? So that's another thing to keep in mind. Our technicians are always ready to assist customers, as well as myself, because I have been doing a lot of troubleshooting with customers as well. And if it comes to the point where I'm like, hey, this is something, because we've ruled out everything else, this is something we need to call EPSON about and have them out there stat, so that way your stuff can be up and running ASAP. The other thing is full workflow training. So that's really, really important. What we do is we actually go in and we set up your equipment in a way that has a really good workflow, so that way you're very efficient with your time. So if you look at the diagram of the workflow process, you are going to have a dark color garment. You have to pre-treat that garment, and then you have to heat press it. Once you've heat pressed that garment, you now have to put it on the printer. Once it goes from the printer, it goes back to the heat press. So typically, some customers have 2 heat presses, or they have a conveyor dryer, or they just have 1 heat press, 1 pre-treater, and 1 printer, and we set it up in a way that it's efficient for them to be able to go from one to the other. So if you look at it, the heat press is the common denominator here. So it's in between the pre-treater and the printer, because it's going to have to go from one to the other and bounce a little back and forth on there. So just to kind of give you an idea. Also, this other pull-up is just a little small screenshot of what Garment Creator looks like as well. So just to kind of give you an idea of what you'll be looking at. The other thing is, when they're on site, we always tell you to use your files for training. Sometimes I even say if you have a job to run, go ahead and have that job image up so that you can keep running it when they're gone. So they're going to help you. The other thing is, use your own garments. Make sure that they are there, because we're not bringing garments with you. But also you want to make sure that they're using the garments that you're going to use for your customer. Regardless of who you're purchasing a DTG printer from, you want to make sure that it's using your garments, using your files, because when they're gone, You only have what you have. And so your equipment should be fine-tuned to what you actually use. That is my spiel on trainings. Now, the fun stuff, the stuff that is important because it can tax your pocketbook. I just said pocketbook. Wow. Okay. Moving on. Safety and durability. Safety and durability is important because you want to know what's in your inks. And you also want to know how safe, how durable your garments are going to be. Are they going to wash out when your customer wears them and then puts them in the washing machine? You want to know that. So, just to kind of take you through this. Safety, MSDS, and certifications are all located on EPSON's website. All of them are listed for you, and you should be able to ask any person that's selling you a DTG machine for those documentations to make sure that everything is up to par and that it's all safe. The other thing is the Consumer Product Safety Improvement Act and children. This act is really, really important because it is saying that there's no lead in that ink. The reason why it's important is because a long time ago, they were printing things that did have some lead in it, and it was children's apparel, and it was bad. It wasn't safe. And so they did come out with this law that basically it's going to cost you about $10,000 a fine for any child that has been affected by it. So it's really, really important that you ensure that your inks don't have anything that is harmful for children. I mean, adults are important too, but we really, really care about our future. So the children are what's important. We want to protect them. So you want to make sure that your inks, no matter who you're buying them from or where they're coming from or whatever the case may be, make sure that you look at those MSDS and certifications to make sure that they're good. An Okiotech certification is really, really important because every year EPSON actually pays this company to test all of their inks to ensure that all of their inks don't have any type of harmful chemicals in it. There are direct-to-garment printers out there that do not have Okiotech certifications on their inks. So make sure you're looking for those certifications. EPSON has the sign on their inks, which you should be able to see in this next slide coming up pretty soon. But just to kind of give you an idea, it should not be anything in there, and all of their inks should have a certification on it. You should see the logo and everything else. Now, the durability test, the AATCC wash test, is basically a company that they have these huge, if you can imagine, these huge washing machine looking metal containers that have the really large 2 spike balls inside of them that does testing to see what the washability on something is, what the durability is. And so EPSON actually scored a 5 out of 4 on that test, which is really important, which means that what they do is they take the t-shirt, they print the t-shirt on the F2100, they cut it in half, they keep one outside, and they put one in. So one is the test experiment, one is your stable experiment of what you had to begin with. So they put it inside of there, it gets thrown around by these metal balls, and when it comes out, it goes through a durability rating. And so this rank is really important because with EPSON, you will have 30 to 60 washes before you see change in the actual garment. And that's important because typically when people buy t-shirts, they are for promotional reasons or for a special occasion. So they don't wash these t-shirts, not even, if you look up if you Google the rates in which people typically wash their garments, they don't even wash them 30 times a year itself. It's on average probably 5 to 10 times, if that. So with Epson's units, with their shirts, they don't crack, which is something I really, really love, because I tell people to do the pull test. I call it the stretch test. So they, usually touch it and they like the hand of it. And then I'm like, hey, why don't you pull it to see what happens? Because if I pull my Victoria's Secret yoga pants that has plastisol ink on them, when I pull that bad boy, it cracks. With my direct-to-garment t-shirt, it pulls and then it goes right back into place. It's so nice. So what you see happen over time is no cracking, but it starts to fade, and that's where you see your change in that 30 to 60 washes. So just remember that when you are looking at direct-to-garment printers, test out their durability, see if they have their MSDS and certifications and their OKIO-TEX certifications online on their inks. Have them provide that for you, because that's really important when you're looking at these things. Maintenance. So, many people will tell you that salespeople do not like to talk about maintenance. That is incorrect, because I love it. Why? Because I like things to be simple. I like to be able to get things done in an efficient time frame and be able to automate things. I am that person. So, with the Epson F2100 maintenance, it is ease of use. Why? It's because the maintenance requirements, which is something you should ask about, the maintenance requirements are not many with this unit. This image that you see here is, well, on the left-hand side of the screen is the print head. The part that is sticking out is the middle channel. Now, that middle channel is where Epson has their inline cleaning cartridge. I really, really love this generation of the Epson, because in the first generation that they had, you had to put what was called magic drops, is what they like to call it, inside of the capping station, which is actually displayed on the right-hand side of your screen. You had to put it inside of there, inside the suction cap, and that took you maybe 5 minutes to do. Well, Epson was never utilizing the 5th channel inside of their print head. So when they designed this unit, they decided that they should include an inline cleaning cartridge. Well, why I say your time is important, because time is money in my eyes. Whereas 5 to 10 minutes you spent doing that drops in the first generation model, you press the power button on this new unit, the F2100, and the machine tells you, give me a couple minutes, I'm going to put my solution inside of my printer, and then I'm going to power off on my own. That is all I need. That's all I need to know. I press the button, I walk away, I'm done. So, that inline cleaning cartridge is 700 milliliters. It costs you $20 to put inside of your unit. And if you use your unit, if you power your machine on and off every single day, Monday through Friday, for a month and a half, you're good on this. You only have to replace once every month and a half. $20, easy, saved you 5 to 10 minutes of your life. Now, when you turn the machine on every single day, this is what I call being a part of your maintenance requirements. What you're going to do is you turn your machine on, you shake your white inks for 10 seconds, just making sure that everything is flowing because of the viscosity of the white ink. Then you run a nozzle check. Your nozzle check costs you 4 cents. Once you run a nozzle check and make sure that everything's firing, you are good to go. If it's not firing, I recommend you doing a light cleaning on it, which just means there's a couple little breaks in your pattern, and you're good to go. Costs you 8 cents to be able to perform it. That is your maintenance. The only other thing you have to do, and the machine will tell you when you have to do it, is when you need to take out the Epson head cleaning set. The Epson head cleaning set is $109, and it needs to be changed once every 1,000 prints, and the machine keeps track of it. So when it's nearing end of life, it says, hey, I'm nearing end of life, and so you should probably have a head cleaning set on your shelf. If you do not, once the life ends on it, it does not allow you to print. So if you look over here on the screen, the right hand side, this little square box that's a little cut off is EPSON's fabric roller. That is one of the pieces that come inside that box. And then the capping station, where you see all the little channels at right here, that comes inside of there as well. And then you have a flushing pad, which is on the left hand side of the unit. You can't see it in my display here, but it's on the left side of the unit, and the machine tells you when to take those out. And on the display panel, it walks you through how to do it. We have videos on EPSON. We're going to make sure you know how to do it. So all of the things I just described to you are all of your maintenance requirements. And you clean around the print head once every week, depending on how much you're actually printing. So these are some really easy maintenance requirements. I think personally, and you're able to go, and a lot of the stuff you just press a button and it happens all on its own. You will get on if you're buying a unit, they should give you a maintenance manual on how to do things. On the EPSON F2100, what they did was they actually went very high tech on us. So there's a QR code on your printer that you can scan that gives you all of your maintenance, which is really, really cool. Also, if you don't want to download a QR app, it's totally fine. We send you the link. Easy peasy. Also, the question is, can that person who's selling you that unit demonstrate how to do the maintenance? That's real important. Because how can they help you? I just explained to you and broke down all of the maintenance parts for you. But if I was in front of you, I would have actually done all of those things so that you can see what it looks like. So that I'm not catch-22 in myself. If any of you decide you want to be able to do a live demonstration, I can FaceTime you, or I can do a WebEx with you, and you can see me do all these different things. And I have some videos on me doing it as well on our YouTube channel. So you'll be able to see all these things demonstrated as well, just to kind of give you an idea. The other thing is, what are the costs and estimated times? I've pretty much covered the costs of different things. The times will all span from, depending on which part we're doing right now, all the times, nothing takes longer than 10 minutes. And it's the unit doing it itself. It's not even you doing the work on it. So everything else, anything that you have to do yourself, it takes you 5 minutes or less, like changing out the head cleaning set or cleaning around the print head or something like that. It takes you 5 minutes or less in order to do it if you're skilled. So those are the breakdowns on maintenance. Probably a little bit more than what you wanted to know, but now you know. So we have now covered how to do your research on this printer, and not just research on the printer, but research on who you're buying from. Who is the company? Who are the people? It's really, really important because you want a partner in this thing. You don't want someone to just sell you something and they're poof, gone. You want someone who's going to be there with you. Once you have purchased a unit from any person here at IT Supplies, we now have a relationship. We have a partnership. My job is to help you grow, because if you don't grow, I don't grow. We have to be successful together. So you need to make sure that when you're doing your research, it's not just on the printer, but it's also on the people that you're buying from, their knowledge base. All those different things play a part. How are they as a person when you challenge them with a question? Do they just tell you no, or do they go find the answer? Do they figure it out for you? So make sure you do the research on that. Look at the ink safety. I know people want to buy third-party inks because it's cheaper and all those things, but is it worth it to put a child's life at risk? Is it worth it to put your job, your business at risk? Make sure you're looking into the ink safety. It's super, super important, guys. And the warranty. The warranty is what's going to keep you moving so that you're not wasting money. The one thing that I hate, I despise the most, is wasting money. I don't like wasting my money. I work really, really hard for it. And if I'm going to invest in something, I want it to work. I want it to do what it's supposed to do for me. So it's really important to make sure that you're covered under warranty. I didn't buy my car so that it can just not work. I bought my car so that I've invested in it in order to take me to work, to bring me home, to let me visit my friends and family. So I am investing in myself. This warranty is investing in you, investing in your future, investing in your business. Print your own designs. Printing your own designs are important, guys, because I don't want you to be disappointed. Even if you need to learn and take a course to make your designs better, that's much better than being hoodwinked into thinking that your image is going to look exactly like the image you saw when you went to a trade show, or that they sent you in the mail because they printed a ton of t-shirts up front and shipped it to you. No, get your stuff printed and and if they're able to let you see it being printed, ask them to let you see it being printed, because then you know they haven't altered your file in any way. Also, training. You want to know how to use your equipment. I mean, it's nothing more frustrating than having orders lined up and you don't know how to use your unit. There is a learning curve with anything that you do, but with the right training, guidance, support, you can be successful. You're setting yourself up for those next steps to be able to take off with your business. So make sure that you're doing that, because it's important to make sure that you are fully trained and you understand. We know you're not going to retain all the information, but we want to make sure that you have all the knowledge that you have and all the support that you have behind you in order to make it happen. Lastly, maintenance. It's important. You have to take care of what you buy. So you need to know, what are your maintenance requirements? What is the time restrictions on how long it's going to take you in order to maintain this machine and to continue maintaining it so that it can continue making you money? These are all important things that are going to help your business. So it's essential that you pay attention, you do the research, and you take part in investing in your business. And you look some things up for yourself just to know that that's what it is, and not just taking somebody's word for it. Granted, my word is great. I give you my word on everything that I do, just about. Well, I do. But I want you to know it for yourself and be able to believe in it and actually know that you're making the right decision for you and for your business. So if the EPSON F2100 has identified with you and your business is something that you are looking for and you want to know more about, I invite you to come inside of our booth on the virtual trade show and join me in a chat where we can discuss any additional questions that you may have. If you feel more comfortable giving me a call, just let me know in the chat. You can have my phone number. We can get on the phone and talk through some things. I can send you an email. Whichever way you feel more comfortable communicating, let me know. But these are the important things that you need to know when you're researching a direct-to-garment unit. Thank you, and I hope to talk to you all soon inside of the booth, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.
Thanks so much for watching this. If you would like to see more of these videos, please go to our YouTube channel.